There's a new generation of kids that teachers, Sephora employees, and even Gen Z are talking about. These kids don't know how to read.
Once upon.
They don't know how to write.
That these babies cannot read. They cannot write.
And it's honestly scary being in the same room with them. Today we're talking about Gen Alpha, but before we even continue, make sure you're subscribed, hit that notification bell so you never miss another video. Let's get started. Gen Alpha is so overstimulated by all of the content that they consume throughout the entire day, but there's one term that a lot of people are calling these kids, and it's called the skibbity toilet syndrome. For those of y'all who don't know what the skibbity toilet syndrome is, it's a moral panic among kids where they start acting like the skibbity toilet, and it's honestly scary.
This my style is ridiculous.
This is something that I would see in my nightmare. This is so cringe.
Skibbity toilet is ruining our children.
Like, I honestly feel bad for these kids. This looks like it's an actual mental illnesses. Like, look at this poor child. They look so overstimulated. Parents are 100% harming their kids. If your child acts this way, it's your fault. Where did this trend even arise?
Where did those skibbity-bop tuckers come from? Somewhere in February, this YouTuber uploaded this video with the description, toilet from Ohio. It started getting a ton of views, more than I could ever wish for. The creator was probably blown away by the attraction it got, so he started making a series about the skibbity toilet meme.
Where my next point comes in, parents, be very mindful of what your child watches on the internet. Limit their time on TikTok, YouTube, because all of these apps are messing with these children. How stimulated do you need to be to where you just start singing the song because it's stuck in the back of your head? Early Gen Z kids would watch stuff that was very harmless to them and it was very kid-friendly, but nowadays it's very debatable of what Gen Alpha kids can watch just because of how much access they have to the internet. Compare this to what kids used to watch back in the day.
Somebody hacked our computer! Oh! Today we are playing 98XX, a super creepy...
Most videos made for kids were made by kids or by kids' parents. EvanTube HD comes to mind. But comparing the pace of these old kid-friendly videos to new ones shows a stark difference in almost every single aspect. The editing, pace, sound, performance, all of it was much slower and more traditional back in the day.
You can see just how slow-paced these shows were for kids back in the day if you compare these to the shows that kids watch nowadays. I mean, you can clearly see just how directed it is towards a child nowadays, just due to all of the screaming, the sound effects, and how the attention span also goes hand in hand. The stuff that they're learning at home, they're also taking it to school, and this is what teachers have to say.
Of Gen Alpha. They're saying Gen Alpha is defiant, aggressive, disrespectful, and rude.
Having to teach and work with you guys as children has been the most traumatic experience of my life.
There are teachers that are leaving their jobs just because you parents can't control your child and give them unlimited access to the internet.
They don't respect any authority. You ask them, can you stand in your designated spot? They're telling you no and shut up.
Here we are again.
First, look at what she's wearing, then look at her nails, and then look at her falsies. It's the parents' fault. You give your child money and give them the mentality that they're grown now.
2 years old. And I will tell you, by far, we are doomed. Like, these kids do not care.
What? It's not just the teachers that are talking about this. Sephora employees are also telling you just how bad these little kids are. I mean, they are just so disrespectful. Whenever they do go to Sephora, they make a complete mess out of all the testers. They don't know how to respect the staff over there.
Freaking rude, y'all. Like, I'm not gonna go in there and record people, but like, I'm not kidding. The number of times that I was like shoved for them trying to get in front of the thing that I was specifically looking at and like bumping into you and just like zero like spatial social awareness.
Well, all of these kids that are going into Sephora with $400, $500 with them, these parents obviously are not looking into what their children are buying because most of these kids are buying skin aging products. I mean, I've already created a video that covers this topic, but this is just, it's crazy that it's not just teachers complaining, it's also employees. Let's look at this video and y'all let me know what y'all think.
We have Sophia in here too, and I'm gonna take these Gen Alphas because they're driving me crazy at home, so I'm gonna take them to Ulta.
Oh yeah, my kids are driving me crazy, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take them out and get some makeup products, because yeah, I'm not gonna let my kids deal with their own boredom.
We're gonna go get her some bubble moisturizer. What are you guys looking for?
I don't know. I'm just looking around.
The point that I'm trying to make is that whenever your child is bored, instead of finding the next best thing, sit in silence and deal with their boredom. You will be surprised by just how much they can learn about themselves.
You unlock the secret to calm kids when you allow them to sit in boredom or to self-play, because they're no longer relying on a prop or a TV or an iPad or you. They know that they can do it themselves.
Because every time they get bored, those pull their iPad out and probably watch something you do not want them to be watching. So as of always, let me know down in the comments what y'all think about the new generation kids, and share a traumatic experience you've ever had with a kid like this.